praise the Lord, praise God, that's out and about. And once you get in fifth gear, you can just roll. I was talking to my son early this morning, because you know I get up around 3:30. And even when I'm off, I wake up around that time. I'm so conditioned to do so. And he recently had broke up with this young lady after many years of being together, and broke his little heart, broke my heart. And he started telling me what she was doing and how she was conducting, acting, behaving, and what he was going through and taking. And he was upset that he had responded to something angrily that she had did. I'm not blaming the young lady, let me finish. And how he had responded in anger, but you know, no fisticuffs, no bad words and nothing like that, just angry at her, and how she had been staying out weekends, gone hours at a time, can't reach her, can't find her. And my son is not gullible. He might be green, but he's not gullible. So I said, Junior, you know what's going on. When a person starts disappearing on you and coming up missing, and you take it the first time, it hurts. You don't know what happened, where they at, or what they've been doing, or who didn't had them, or who they've been with. Then they do it again, and you take it, and then they do it again. I said, Junior, you have conditioned yourself, just like I've been there, to take mistreatment. A lot of us condition ourselves. Person talk to you, call you the B word for the first time, or cuss you out. Now, we all have a slip of the tongue. We say stuff in the heat of the moment. But when somebody keep doing the same thing, so he's like, Dad, she keep doing the same thing, and I keep getting mad, and I keep responding wrong. And that's because you have a conscience. That's because you have a good conscience and a good heart, and you know it's wrong. You know she's on some BS, and if you were doing the same thing, I would tell her the same thing. My son is on some shh. So sometimes we condition ourselves to take mistreatment and lies, and people will do stuff behind your back, sneak around with the devil, and you trying to treat them good, praying for them, protecting them, trying to hang in there with them, knowing they've been mistreated. But the longer you be with somebody that's mistreating you, there's a great chance, more than likely, that you are going to learn how to mistreat someone else as I leave this speak. So I talk to my son. That's my only child, and I teach him. He asks me questions. I don't hold back. I don't sugarcoat nothing, because his granddaddy said, my dad, if you sugarcoat a turd, I'm just going to teach you, and you lick all the sugar off of it, what you left with? I said, I don't know, Dad. He said, a handful of shh. And I would laugh. And it's true. So we can condition ourselves to allow people to mistreat us, lie to us, treat us any kind of way, dog us, use us, sexually use us, financially use us, emotionally abuse and use us. And, you know, it's left up to us. Everybody is a patron in life. Everybody can be a gymnasium. Everybody can be a treadmill or a welcome mat. But aren't you tired of being used and abused and treated and talked to any kind of way? I know I got tired of it. You praying for the person, but they running with somebody else. You trying to protect the person, but they running with the person you're trying to protect them from. They stand out all night long. You stand up all night long. You texting and calling, or back then the day you were calling or paging, but now you're texting and calling and whatever, sending video messages, and the person don't respond. I said, Junior, you know what it is. And, you know, he cried about it, and we still talk about it, and it hurt him. That's my child. If it wasn't my child, it hurts us when people use us and mistreat us and do us all kinds of ways, and it's the same treatment, and you giving the same better and best effort, and they still lying to you, cheating on you, sneaking around, sneaking off. I mean, for somebody to stay out all night long, don't answer their phone, don't respond to messages, don't respond to calls, not just one time, but they keep doing it, and then never explain or can express or tell the truth where they've been, you probably don't want to know, as I leave this alone. So sometimes we can condition ourselves to take mistreatment. Sometimes a lot of us, certain of us, and I'm certain of this, have been with people or persons who have mistreated us, and we finally got away from them, or broke up, or busted up, or divorced, and we took that mistreatment on to mistreat somebody else the same way. I used to date someone, and they said something to me, and it hurt me so bad, and I asked them, why did you say that? My last boyfriend said that to me, so I thought I would say it to you. I just shook my head and a sigh of relief and kept on going and still going as I leave this peak. But we have to guard our hearts and guard our minds. Even the Bible says to guard your heart, for out of it flows the issues of life. I need my mind for myself. I need my heart for myself. And like my grandmother used to say, you need your heart because you might fall in love one last time, but you keep on falling in love until you fall one last time as I leave this alone. But don't allow nobody to condition you to take mistreatment, beating you mentally, beating you physically, beating you financially, beating you emotionally, lying to you, sneaking around, treating you all kinds of ways. And then when you respond to their mistreatment, this is what I'm trying to get to, then your conscience kicks in about how you responded or what you said in response to, or what you said in response to said treatment. And it's sad because a lot of people will put up with somebody who's been mistreating them for years before they get away from that person and try with somebody who hasn't mistreated them at all. I forgot who said, I want to say Einstein, but don't quote me, it was something along the lines of, it is easier to convince somebody of something false than to convince somebody that they believe something false. It is easier to convince somebody to believe something that is a lie than to convince the person to unbelieve the lie. And that's true. As I leave this speak, guard your heart. Mikado. Guard your heart. Guard your mind. You know, because if you don't, the only somebody going to guard your heart is somebody that cares about you and yourself. People will trick you, use you, be sneaking around with the devil, be dealing with the bad woman or the bad man or the person that's mistreated them, tipping around with them, eating lunch and dinner with them, and the person that did the most damage to them, most damage to them, they would be treating them like they ain't never done nothing to them, but let you say something wrong, let you do something wrong. And like I told my son, if a person can stay out all night long one time and do it again and again and again, don't answer your calls, your text messages, and then get mad at you when you check them about it, you need to run. After one comes two. I'm all about treating somebody right. We have a right to respond and to protect ourselves and to rebut and to refute and to refute and to respond. Guard your heart. Don't let nobody condition you to keep on taking mistreatment. A day turns into weeks. I know this. Weeks turns into months. I lived this. Months turn into years. I've lived this, y'all. A lot of y'all have. I'm going to leave this alone. I'm about to get out and do a little yard selling. I'm out here in North Chicago. I think there's a couple yard sales out here, so I'm out here in the hood, and they have some pretty decent yard sales out here as well. God bless you. God keep you is my prayer. Guard your heart. For out of it flows the issues of life. Only somebody going to guard your heart is you and possibly the person that care about you. But if somebody can stay out all night long and keep doing it, and you say something to them and they get mad, but they the one that stayed out all night long. They the one that caused you to respond. They the one that caused the pain. And I just don't see how anybody can stay out all night long, multiple times or over and over again, and just keep doing it. Just keep doing it. God, I thank God for my own heart. I thank God for my own conscience. I'm going to continue to raise and teach and give to my son. He is my posterity. He is what I'm going to leave behind. I got to teach him right. Teach your child. Teach your son. Teach your daughter. They're going to do what they want to do, you know, if you like it or not. But if we teach them as best we can, if we teach them fair and we teach them righteously, they'll come to us with their problems. Guard your heart. Guard your mind. Guard your heart most of all. For out of it flows the issues of life. Peace.